Okay, so you read one of my books, you heard me or perhaps one of our team speak, or in some other way, you've been introduced to the basic concepts behind the system we call CultureWise. An obvious question you may be wondering is, can't we do this on our own? I mean, after all, you said it's pretty simple, right? The answer, of course, is absolutely you can. And there may be some compelling reasons to do it on your own. In this video, we'll explore some of those reasons and what you'll want to have in place to make it work. We'll also look at some of the reasons that some companies choose to hire a professional. Either way can work. My goal is simply to give you the information you need to make the right decision for your organization. For the sake of this video, I'm going to assume that you already recognize how important your culture is to success, and you're committed to working on it in a much more systematic way. If you're not quite there yet, check out some of the other videos that address that topic more directly. Assuming you are committed to being more systematic, let's start by looking at why you might want to do this on your own. And I'll try to give you a clear picture of the internal resources that you should have in place to make it work effectively. Not surprisingly, the primary reason to go it alone is cost. It obviously costs money to bring in a professional. And you may be working with a tight budget, or maybe even no budget at all. And if you can build your culture operating system on your own, well, you got to look at that seriously. If you're going to do this on your own, there are 4 skills or resources that you'll want to make sure that you have. Number 1, a facilitator. When you're going through the brainstorming process to figure out your behaviors, it's helpful to have somebody facilitate that conversation so that you can participate more fully. Otherwise, your attention's constantly divided between being the meeting leader and also being a participant. The facilitator should also be skillful enough to guide the rollout sessions when you're introducing this to your team members. This might be someone perhaps from your training department, for example. Number 2, a writer. Once you've got your behaviors listed, you'll want to create clear titles and descriptions for each. These are going to become part of your company's vocabulary, so it's important to make sure that you've got a skilled writer on staff who can craft them with clarity and precision. While culture isn't a marketing function, it's possible that maybe somebody in your marketing department has these particular skills. Number 3, a content creator. This might be the same person as the writer that I just mentioned. Remember that beyond crafting the behaviors, the point is to be teaching these week after week after week so that they become internalized. Your content creator will be the one to develop the teaching points, the coaching tips, lessons, and discussion topics so that your managers and supervisors are all using the same curriculum. And number 4, a project owner. Nothing will kill an initiative faster than lack of a clear owner. You're going to have a lot of issues competing for your attention. Somebody's got to ensure that the project keeps on moving, and more importantly, when the newness wears off, somebody's got to be able to keep the focus so that this doesn't make the flavor of the month. Let's summarize. If you're on a tight budget and you've got people on your team right now who possess these skills, and they've got space in their schedule that they can commit to this initiative, well, then tackling this project on your own may just be the perfect path for you. Let's turn our attention now to the reasons that some people hire a professional, whether it's to paint their house or their car or to implement a culture operating system. In my experience, there are 5 reasons that you might want to consider going that route. Number 1, professionals bring experience. Someone who's repaired hundreds of engines is a lot more likely to do it better than what I could do from watching a YouTube video. The YouTube video may give me all the right steps, but experience helps you avoid many of the pitfalls and mistakes that you might make when you're a novice. Experience also lets you leverage what others have done so that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Number 2, professionals bring focus. How many initiatives have you started and then left for dead when the crush of day-to-day issues took over? An outside project owner can bring the focus and accountability necessary to make sure that the project actually gets completed. Number 3, professionals bring facilitation skills. I noted earlier that it's hard to be a participant and a facilitator at the same time. A good facilitator allows you to fully engage in the process without having to keep one eye on where the meeting's going. Number 4, professionals bring writing skills. The right professional adds a level of writing skill that you might not have resident in your company right now. And word choice is important. And number 5, professionals bring content and tools. I noted earlier the importance of creating the curriculum content to teach your culture with consistency. A good professional can bring all that content and can bring tools to help you deliver it when you might not have the skills or the time to do it yourself. There's one other question that we often hear when people are trying to figure out the best path. And it goes something like this. No one can know our culture as well as we do, so doesn't this need to come from us? The truth is that nobody's going to know your culture like you do. No way. But that's not really a reason to choose to do it on your own or to hire a professional. Think of it this way. If you wanted to build a new home, no one would know your needs, your dreams, your desires like you do. But a good architect would know how to translate those dreams into a set of drawings, and they'd have the skills and the experience to oversee the whole project and bring those drawings into reality. That's what professionals do. It's the same thing with your culture. It's not the job of the professional to tell you what your culture should be, just like it's not the job of the architect to tell you what kind of house you should build. It's the professional's job to translate your vision into reality and see that it gets done. So here's the bottom line. There's no right or wrong way to do this. Rather, it's more a question of, well, what feels appropriate for you, given your resources and your skills? Either way, few things are going to have more impact on your success than creating a true operating system for your culture.